Tasmai Narayanaaya Svatya Shivan Narayanaaya Nam Karta Hikata Puja Kamita Shri Yajakaram Sarvam Kevam Shampro Radiant immortal souls, beloved and blessed spiritual seekers, devotees of the Lord, and aspirants for spiritual knowledge that brings a new light into your life, illumines, enlightens, and spiritual wisdom that ultimately liberates you. We are singularly fortunate this evening. I am very happy that in this place of prayer, in this beautiful chapel surrounded by a cathedral formed by the trees towering above this chapel, in this place of prayer, we have had the great privilege of listening to devotional music, spiritual music. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. How beautiful are his feet. I know that my Redeemer liveth. And Pache, which we repeat day in and day out. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace unto all beings. And I believe this is the Annunciation, the next speech I suppose. La Virgin Degni Angeli. It looks like the angel is coming before the Virgin and announcing, Blessed art thou, for that Lord has blessed thee. And you may perhaps have taken time to go through the little write-up that accompanies this program sheet. Sita and Marsha have carefully prepared it, and I'm sure some of these details must have been given to you by Julia Turner was born in Netherlands and studied at the Royal Conservatory in The Hague. In addition to her musical education, she holds a graduate degree in physical therapy and mathematics, and she has done extensive studies in psychology, philosophy, religion and mythology at European and American universities. Now, special point for us this afternoon is the combination of discipline has led her to pioneering work in the spiritual and healing dimensions of sound and music. In her singing, Julia explores the role of music as an agent for healing the body and the soul, and for awakening the divine within. And it's very appropriate indeed that a person having this feel and having this urge to relate music to God, he relates music to bringing down the blessings of God to our hearers, should have featured today in this afternoon's program, where we are all very much spiritual oriented, and we seek also to make use of music to recollect, bring us into a state of recollection of God by chanting the divine name. As you all know, is one of the salient features of such spiritual gatherings. And Russell Willem had also a distinguished career as a composer and a pianist. And he has had some very unique assignments, and one of them perhaps which will strike a chord in many of you, the hearts of many of you, is he is also the producer of In Martyrum Memoriam, written in memory of Martin Luther King and John F. Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy. It was commissioned by the Washington Oratory Society and premiered at the Kennedy Center in 1975 under the direction of Robert Schiller. This is one of the many things he has done. And in 1983, Ulun was commissioned by the Library of Congress Elizabeth Sprague Coolidge Foundation to compose Line of Stephen Crane, a musical setting for baritone voice and chamber orchestra by verses by the late 19th century American poet and novelist Stephen Crane. The work was premiered at the Library of Congress Coolidge Auditorium by baritone Leslie Gwynn. I don't know who this person is, and members of the National Symphony Orchestra. At the moment, he has been commissioned by the National Endowment for Arts to compose a special chorus, and he is working on the project, and it is to be premiered next year. We call upon the Blessed Lord, the great universal Spirit, that He is the one ever-present, though invisible, ever-present reality in the midst of this ever-changing names and forms that go to make up our outer universe, material universe, where nothing is stable, everything is transitory, everything is changing, everything is subject to a beginning and an end, everything is subject to ultimate decay and dissolution in process of time. The one enduring reality, beginningless, endless, changeless, and infinite, and therefore ever present everywhere. In all its fullness is the universal being, the supreme cosmic spirit, in whose presence we are gathered together here, and to whose presence they have offered this inspiring, uplifting music offering today. May that Supreme Being shower His divine grace upon both of them, and may His choicest blessings grant to them fulfillment of all their heart's aspirations, and grant them progress and success in their chosen field of service of the society. And in their personal lives, may God bless them with radiant good health, inner peace of mind, a cheerful disposition, a happy heart, and a sense of peace and contentment, a sense of fulfillment. May He endow all their efforts with success. That is our way of saying thank you, Russell, and thank you, Julie. Very happy you take the trouble to come. But it's worth a visit. It's a beautiful place. Forest in Milan, really, really. And if you look out the back, you see one of the lakes are there. You are able to see. I thought first of all it was a river maybe, but then I remember that in your sketch.
No, that's a river.
Is that so?
It's on the river.
But that's a solid. That, I thought you had indicated some ponds and lakes in the sketch you had given us the property. Very, very good. This midday after we had finished all this and went, I was talking to someone, I don't know, some little animal bounced across the road, very leisurely, not at all in a hurry. It's quite a fat, big thing.
Groundhog.
Raccoon. That's anyhow, it was quite at home. Yeah? Sometimes they must be feeling, what it is these human beings come and disturbing our solitude. When they circulate too much, they must be feeling it. And I suppose they have their own unwritten signs. A car crossing, beware. We have cattle crossing and deer crossing. They must be having car crossing. It is really a beautiful place, and today is a beautiful day, and it is being made tenfold more beautiful by your beautiful selves and your beautiful music. Very good. And there is another cosmic sound which one listens by sitting still and closing the eyes and withdrawing all the senses so that outer sounds fade away. And in that state of absolute stillness of the body and quiescence of the mind, they say if you practice listening, then you hear some sounds from within. Of course, you have to carefully distinguish them. Sometimes you hear the sound of the blood circulation also. See? Because when you are absolutely silent inside, these sounds go on, but we are not aware of it. But in the beginning, you hear the blood circulation. You can even hear the pulse in the heart. But you must go beyond it. See? You must distinguish it. Then go into deeper silence. And then they say, you begin to hear sounds which are always going on, but we don't listen to, therefore we don't hear. And also we keep listening to other things outside, and therefore we are not aware of them. And they are given a very significant name, because all sound that we know within the range of our human experience in this world, physical world, are sounds that are produced by the contact of two objects. See? That is, two objects have to be there. Sound cannot be produced by a single element. Always coming into contact with two objects. Of course, the most evident example is and then someone hammering a nail into the wall, or someone trying to dig something. But then, these are all very gross examples. But when you hear the wind sighing amongst the tree branches, there also is the wind and the leaves of the trees. They two come into contact and then they produce a sound. And when the water runs over sea pebbles, it also produces a sound. And it has to be two things coming into contact with one another. And this sound you hear is sound where there is no such coming into contact of two things. Therefore, they call it Anahata sound. Anahata. That which is without a collision in two, contact between two. Anahata in Sanskrit means where this is absent. Sound where this is absent. And they have carefully made research into this sound, and then they have been able to distinguish the 9 or 10 different sounds. Sometimes you hear sounds that are like cymbals, tinkling sound. Sometimes a long drawn note like that of a flute. Sometimes like a zither. Sometimes like a gong. Sometimes like thunder. Sometimes like the sea waves. Very continuous sound of the sea waves. And like that, very sometimes like a drums. Rolling drums. And sometimes like a veena, various types of sounds. And sometimes they are very shrill, very sweet, very sweet. And then you don't want to be disturbed. You want to keep on listening. It is like you hit a very bell with very good timbre. You hit it. And then after you have hit it for nearly more than 1 minute, if you bring it close to the ear, you can still hear the resonance. Goes on, resonating like that. And there are a class of yogis who try to bring a total concentration of the mind by trying to listen to the sound and allowing the mind to become totally absorbed into the sound. Because the sound is so attractive, so fascinating, so attractive. And the mind, the complete mind, the whole attention is given to it. The total mind becomes completely absorbed. No other distraction. It becomes absolutely one point, completely absorbed into that sound. And they call it live yoga. And they are mystical sounds which do not require two objects to come into contact with each other in order to produce a sound, spontaneous, self-created, self-existing sound. And these are all the various disciplines for controlling the mind. Sound is one of them. Sound is one of them. Just as even if you disturb mind, immediately after a lot of work and disturbed day, if you come in the evening to the altar, want to pray or start sitting quiet and meditating, mind will not become quiet. Mind will refuse. Because the whole day it has been in agitated mood, that same tempo of the agitation will continue. Therefore, Gurudev said, first of all, to put a stop to it, sit down and repeat long drawn pranam. It is a symbol of the Supreme. If you do that, then when the mind becomes caught by this sound, the mind becomes completely absorbed in the sound, all its restlessness and agitation ceases, and the mind immediately quietens down. Why? Because of this power of this soothing, continuous sound. There is a continuity. So the mind stays put in the sound, goes along with it. And so the broken restlessness of the mind stops and gives space, continuous, harmonious flow of the mind along with the sound, and soon its state is altered, it becomes quiet, it becomes peaceful. Then you can start your prayer and meditation with a quiet mind, say, with a subdued mind. These are all things which have been tried, and how sound can affect the mind is a science in itself. And Nada Brahman someday has made a lot of research. And there was a gentleman belonging to the country of Colombia in South America. He has been doing research in this field for many years. And you all know, spontaneously the mothers know that soothing sound can put the fretful child to sleep. Therefore they comb the child. And then soon the child is quiet. And crying and waking, the fretful child becomes quiet. Just because of the effect of the sound the mother makes. And this man was Alfonso Caicedo, Dr. Alfonso Caicedo, and he tried to bring about a state of quiescence. He was a doctor and he was a psychiatrist also, and his field was working with mentally disturbed people, even psychotists, even people not normal, say, insane. And he had a lot of results by playing music to them, and he could even put people to sleep. So he wrote some books about his findings and called his approach to health and healing sophrology. Sophrology, the science of producing sleep and quiet of the mind. Sophrology. Dr. Alfonso Caicedo. Now we close with our prayers, usual prayer, because it's, and once again we thank both Russell and Julie for their gracious presence and their loving sharing, and I'm sure they have the loving good wishes for one and all of you here, and may the Lord abide with them. May His grace always go with them throughout their life and all things that they do, and their families too. Their families also be under the grace of the Lord. Hari Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Adorable Lord of mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto thee. Thou art omnipresent, omnipotent and omniscient. Thou art Satchidananda. Thou art the indweller of all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, equilibration, balanced mind, faith, devotion and wisdom. Grant us inner spiritual strength to resist temptations and to control the mind. Free us from egoism, lust, greed, hatred, anger and jealousy. Fill our heart with divine virtues. Let us behold Thee in all these names and forms. Let us serve Thee in all these names and forms. Let us ever remember Thee. Let us ever sing Thy glories. Let Thy name be ever upon our lips. Let us abide in Thee forever and ever. Let us abide in Thee forever. Om Sarvesham Swasti Bhavatu Sarvesham Shanti Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhagavani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Prabhav Bhave Asato Ma Sadamaya Tamaso Ma Shikashamaya Mrityoma Amritangamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace unto all beings in this universe, and peace be unto you all. God bless you. Thank you again. And thank you all of you for giving us your presence, and making it a satisfactory evening. So, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Adi Shakti, Mahashakti, Parashakti, Om Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Adi Shakti, Mahashakti, Parashakti, Om Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Shakti, Om Adi
recall it right at the moment. But it is, as he put it, it's a zikr, and it's a moving zikr. And I think you will enjoy it. And I'm facing you so I can just show you. It's because there's a little bit of movement in it. And the words are like this, so just follow along, just right now as a call and response, just so to teach you. It goes like this. It is perfect. It is perfect. You are love. You are love. All is clear. All is clear. I am holy. I am holy. Let's try that again. It is perfect. You are love. You are love. All is clear. All is clear. I am holy. I am holy. Again. It is perfect. You are love. You are love. All is clear. All is clear. I am holy. And let's keep it up now. It is perfect. You are love. All is clear. I am holy. And again. It is perfect. You are love. All is clear. I am holy. Keep it going. It is perfect. You are love. All is clear. I am holy. One more time. It is perfect. You are love. All is clear. I am holy. This time with feeling. It is perfect. You are love. All is clear. I am holy. Now this time we'll add the zikr part, the movement part. When you say it is clear, just follow along. Just say it is clear, and you bow to the right. It is clear. Just bow to the right. Practice. It is clear. But say it is clear. Back to center. It is clear. Oh, I am. Oh, I'm sorry. You are love. You are love to the left. You are love to the left. Back to center. All is clear is to the center. All is clear. Bow to the center. And then I'm holy. I'm holy. So it is bow to the right, back to center. Bow to the left, back to center. I am clear, back into the center, and then arms above the head. Are we ready? There are no mistakes. There are no mistakes. So first we'll try it this way. You are love to center. All is clear. Hands up. I am holy. To the right. It is perfect. To the left. You are love. Center. All is clear. I am holy. To the right. It is perfect. To the left. You are love. Center. All is clear. I am holy. Let's go. Keep going. It is perfect. You are love. All is clear. I am holy. It is perfect. You are love. All is clear. I am holy. It This is how angels clap, and this is how angels hug.
Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma,
Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma,
Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma,
Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma,
Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma. Jai Ma, Jai 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 Jai Ma.
Namah Shivaya Sada Shiva 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 Mahadeva Namah Shivaya Sada Shiva 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 Mahadeva Namah Shivaya Sada Shiva 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 Mahadeva Namah Shivaya Sada Shiva Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Chidananda.